K-Shine and Shotty Horroh, man. So they have a back and forth going on. I see they got a lot of tweets. I'm just pulling up two of them. Shotty Horroh. Look at this little pee hole, LOL. And he's putting up a screenshot of K-Shine blocked him. Okay. Then you got this one right here of K-Shine. K-Shine says, I drop it when I feel like it. Anybody who really wanted to see it got the PPV. I don't owe no explanation. F what anybody else got to say. Shotty is a B. He just mad I unfollowed his B ass, laughed my ass off. Why he not asking about his Geechee battle? Okay. I take that down. I do not need my headset for the rest of the stream. And yes, I am going to get to easy. Okay. I made y'all wait for it. Even though it's not in the title. It's not in the thumbnail. I could be such an asshole when I want to be. But real talk. I seen the back and forth, and shout out to Shine, shout out to Shotty, and shout out to Three. I saw Shine on Three Letter Man today, and I watched it. I watched pretty much the whole segment of him addressing the Shotty Horroh thing and his footage dropping and all that. And it's what they got going on. Whatever, you know, they were never best friends anyway. Their opponents, the battle's over. It was a great fucking battle. If I watch it again and it feels like, yo, this got super replay ability, maybe it's a classic. I don't know. I did a recap of it. I had K-Shine winning. I think I even had him winning all 3 rounds. And just because you win all 3 rounds doesn't mean that you got bodied. I think he had longer rounds. I think his energy was crazy. Shotty might have even tried to cut Shine off, or did in one of the rounds because of the time limits, right? But it was Shine's return, and I don't know, whatever. This is not to take anything away from Shotty's performance. Shotty was incredible, but I had Shine clearly winning it, and I was one of few people, it's documented, saying, what the hell are y'all actually tripping for? Because K-Shine's return battle is versus Shotty Horroh. Y'all gave me one of those I told you so moments. Because I was just like, it's Shotty Horroh. What is wrong with you people? It is what it is. I get it. A lot of time has passed. Whatever. Anyway, based on Three Letter Man's interview with Shine, I'll tell you what I assume is going on here. Shine is saying it in so many different ways. It's 2 things. He's showing that the battle with him and Shotty, especially the feeling like y'all wasn't with it when it was announced, but then y'all watch the battle and everybody's saying that it's a classic or a great battle. And then when he sees Shotty get announced on URL a couple weeks later, he doesn't like how that played out. Now, I don't have the behind the scenes information, right? But in his perspective, Shine, he feels like there's some tactical as well as stabbing me in my back a little bit type of stuff that happened, right? Now, as far as the tactical stuff, URL has always been a platform or league that has no problem figuring out how to capitalize on certain moments. Like it could be another league's date. It could be controversy. It could be using my voice in their trailer. By the way, I didn't flag them. Oh. Shots fired at whoever's flagging. I didn't flag URL. This is none of y'all had more drama with battle rap ops than me ever. I didn't flag nobody. That trailer dropped. I said, "Ooh, good one." I didn't flag nobody. Y'all, whoever's doing it, y'all some bitches, or multiple people, whoever. But they're very tactical with that shit. In my opinion, Eric Beasley is one of the most petty people in the world. He's got like 50 Cent type shit to him. And he's clever with some of this shit. He's funny with some of it, and he's smart using some of it for his business. He sees things and he'll find ways to spin them. whether you think that it's dirty or it's in play. And even though I'm not taking any shots, I'll still say allegedly, in case anybody doesn't know how to just take this with battle rap talk. Okay. Like, I mean, um, so I think Sean feels like the booking was off of his energy, especially after nobody acted like they liked it. Here's another example of like that shit. Like Easy would probably feel this way. I felt this way of like URL booking Disaster versus Real Sick. The timing of it felt like it was an anti RBE card that was going on and possible anti Easy to Block Captain thing. A lot of people felt like Disaster was being used by URL to act, because I had that little back and forth with Disaster based on the rec situation, and Disaster and Easy had a situation with the NDA shit at the time, and URL they're sneaky instead of being upfront and saying it on camera themselves. They're sneaky. Disaster, you do. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. And shout out to Diz. And shout out to Diz. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Diz. But that's the interpretation from a lot of people of what was going on there. All right. And one thing that also stood out to me in the interview on Three Letter Man was Shine. He said, the things that you were saying on the phone with me was like, fuck them niggas. And then you went and battled with them right after me. So I can relate to some of that. I'm not saying that I know Shotty and Shine's situation or their conversations. I'm just saying when he said that in the interview, I can relate to that, because I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. When you share a plight with somebody, you know, you look at that person as a comrade. This is not about Shotty. Don't watch this and be like, "Oh, you siding with Sean." I'm so talking in general right now, my nigga. I'm not trying to act like I know Sean and Shotty shit. I don't. I want that to be clear. And I hate that I have to do all these over disclaimers for people, but sometimes I got listeners that hear me with all different types of ears. So fuck it. Disclaimer. Sean and Shotty, I'm speaking general for the moment. Shout out to both y'all two brothers. Um, but that's life. When you share a plight with somebody, sometimes you have a level of camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? So imagine I feel like allegedly my events is getting attacked or my battles is getting attacked all the time. Imagine I'm having them type of conversations, like let's say organic all the time. We always on the phone together, debating of how we could protect ourselves or what certain people is doing to us and the grimy levels, and we feeding each other information, and you alley-ooping me shit and I'm alley-ooping you shit. And then I look up and um you're like what Sean is alluding to. You got this whole like, oh, we best friends thing. Sean will feel a level of betrayal. This is real shit that I'm not saying it's their case. I'm just talking about how things really go. You will feel a vibe of betrayal, a kind of piece of betrayal. I was initially thinking in my last take when I spoke about Sean dropping, I was just like, yo, Sean, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? You gotta drop your footage, homie, because you don't hold it while you navigating to see what URL gonna do and see if they're gonna try to capitalize on you. And he said that in his interview too. He said, you're gonna hit, you see the buzz, you're gonna fuck around and see an announcement of Shotty versus Tay Rock. And think about what I said of URL finding a lot of opportunities to capitalize on things. I'm not saying that that's what's happening right here, but because historically it happens so much, it's in people's minds like Sean right now, which is why he said the Tay Rock shit, the Shotty and the Tay Rock shit. This is just me from the outside looking in, how I'm interpreting it. Okay, I'm just reading the Matrix. So my initial take, like a month ago, a couple weeks ago, I'm just like, yo, Sean, like, if you feel like niggas is at you or trying to step on you or water down your footage, that's just part of battle rap. We see what it is. You gotta get out there. You just gotta call. You gotta fight. You gotta drop your shit. But listening to his Three Letter Man interview right now, it makes me understand. I'm not saying I agree with, but it makes me understand his position that much more. You know? Now, as far as him and Shotty getting into it, I feel like that it's almost like a byproduct. I think the real issue is like the energy and the things that Shine believes is between him and URL or certain things that's happening. But Shotty ends up being a piece of the puzzle from his perspective. That's what I see. I could be wrong, respectfully. And shout out to Shotty and shout out to Shine. Okay. All right. Y'all fuck with that tape? That tape? Nah, of course not. It take me to hell no. I'm cool. Once again, I don't want no problems with no beef with nobody. I don't got no beef with nobody, but I'm cool. I don't force. I'm so not a forced relationships and that I didn't want to be friends then. I damn sure don't want to be friends now. It doesn't make you my enemy. Our history is our history. Shout out to you. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Once again, if I see you in the club, the most you can get is a head nod. Just like I said for Young Thug and Wife and Lucci. Just that's it. But stop tweeting me looking for collab events. You know, Jay Mills, he's I respected his video, but that shit never happened. You put $1 million on the fly. I told you this, you guys, this shit for years. It never happened. I stand on that. Like it didn't never $1 million. Yo, do the collab for the culture ARP. Then I gotta say, fuck the culture for that moment. Never. And niggas probably feel exactly the same, and that's totally fine. You know, then we're on the same page. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. You know, it's like even now I'll use this to transition to easy. Since I'm this is my mind's random thoughts. I feel like Easy should never battle with URL. There's been some olive branching over time. You know, sometimes time heals a lot. But from everything that's happened, look at what we said earlier about Young Thug and Gunna. If you try to, metaphorically speaking, kill me and I survive it, that doesn't mean that we can now come to the table. The fact remains you tried to kill me, metaphorically speaking, and allegedly, right? We know that the history there. We know the Danny Myers and the card and the lucrative offer and the allegedly P and Easy and Chrome and alleged cease and desist and this and that. And we know all of it. You know, I'm the type of person that no, I'm not doing business with you ever again. It's just not about the money. It's not about the money. But now, a couple people wanted my response to Easy to Block Captain's his live the other night. I think the title referenced my recent take on him.